Okay, so I decided to make a video while I'm calmer. Um, I'm sorry if you can't hear me in the background. I don't have a microphone yet, but I'm just gonna tell how I met this person and what happened. Okay, so I want to say this was 2019 because this is right before COVID. I stopped waitressing and I went to work at the college in the town where I live in, or not the town that I live in, the town that my mom lived in, because I was still living in Helen at the time. But I moved and I lived in this cabin out in the woods. I think I haven't posted pictures on here, but on my Instagram you'll see pictures of my cabin. It was like a tiny home. It was very cool living there. But anyways, my stepdad got me this job at the college in the cafeteria. I actually kind of got it for myself, but knowing him still got me the job. Whatever. I didn't get along with my boss. Not me, her. She was insecure on her own needs, on her own shit. I didn't do anything to that lady. I came in, I think I worked like a week with her, and she decided she didn't want to work with me anymore. Okay. So go to I get moved downstairs because it's like, well, at this point, do you have a job? Do you want a job? Like, I guess within a week, I believe my car got repossessed, and just hard times, and I, yeah, that I start working there. So to her, she treated me like I lied to her. Anyways, this is another lady. Anyways, weird ass white lady. Some people are just intimidated by my energy. They're just intimidated. That way I speak, people are just intimidated by me, period. And I'm just like, okay, that's in your head. You know what I mean? But anyways, when I started working in the college, I got moved downstairs, and the person next to me was Barb. I ran the grill, and she would just serve the food, that the other cooks would bring to the bag. But I ran my grill area, and I made like 200-300 burgers a day. I would just have to ask her stuff. That's how it started. And then I would tell her I started waitressing. I mean, I want to say really within the first month or so, she was already asking me for weed and stuff like that. And I'm just like, first I'm like being all weird because I'm already weird about it. Like, I'm not a drug dealer. I'm sorry. I'm growing up a black person in a predominantly white area. People treat you like a drug dealer a lot, or they think they think because they know, and that's still not fair. You know what I mean? That's racist to me. Anybody who has ever treated me like I'm a drug dealer and just been on this whole, oh, she's gonna give me, she's gonna get me drug. I'm not that person's friend. But anyways, so I needed a ride home because my car, so I couldn't catch my uncle all the time. So that's how I started riding with her. So it was cool in the beginning, except for she just got to where she would always just pop up at my house, or she would just constantly be over, and I'd have to be like, hey, call before you come. Hey, even though it's like, well, you're there, or I would be asking her to take me to the Walmart on the way home, and she would pass it and be like, oh, I've got something I gotta do, and then she would get me home, and then hours later, an hour and a half later, she'd come and pull back up, and I'm like, you just didn't want to take me to the store. Now you're sitting at my house and you just want to sit here and smoke, and it's just fucking weird that she's old enough to be my mom. She's old as my mom, I want to say, for real. And then she didn't even really click with my mom. I felt like mom's like, she acts like she's scared of me, or she doesn't want me to notice, because my mom had done some stuff in her life, so she could see shit on people. But she would come around when my mom was there, actually. But whenever my mom was there, she just kept pulling up on me. Like, had no restraint from my regard, would always just be like, well, I'm just gonna come sit in your driveway. It was just fucking weird. And just smoke. And I'm thinking, but where were you smoking before we met? You had somewhere that you would go. You had somebody that you would get it from. And now you're like, only can get it from me. And then every time you get it from me, you're bitching. Like, bitching, like, because you want to meet the guy. And I'm just like, look, I'm not playing this game with you. And I think near the end, okay, that was like maybe that was the first semester. And I came in like the couple weeks after. And she had, worked there for years, so she knows my stepdad real well, and he was saying she was crazy. Everybody always says she's crazy, but anyways, moving on, fucking, I don't know. I just was on a kick to get a car because I would ride with her, and she would just, if it wasn't about weed, she would make it about weed. Or even when I was trying to be her friend and I was telling her I quit smoking, she would walk up to me and be like, oh, hey, Chris, you doing okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm doing good, da-da-da. And she's like, oh, yeah, da-da-da. You got any weed? You can go get some weed later? I'm like, no. I'd be like, no, I don't want to. Oh, okay. And then she would really just be real kind of forceful with it. Like, she would come back. Oh my God, this motherfucker. Oh my God, this man's talking to me. Anyways, fucking, so I went to, so fast forward to the end of the semester, because even over the Christmas break, we didn't really hang out. You know what I mean? I think it was like very briefly, but I was already feeling her weird shit. Like, what? Even just the other shit my mom wasn't pointing out. It was just that you have to be at my house constantly. You can't take me to fucking Walmart, but you can come sit at my house. And then if I had a ride waiting for me, you would want to just sit there. But I thought you had somewhere to go. She wouldn't have nowhere to go. Then she's an older lady, so she'd be losing shit. I would walk out on my porch and there'd be fucking sacks. And I'll be honest now, I would keep it, because why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you leaving this shit? And then she would come and just be like, I just can't find this. I don't know where it is. I know it's here. I think she would do it on purpose. Even looking back, I think she doesn't. She would do it on purpose. So she'd have a reason to come back, and she would tell me that I owe her something. Crazy. And then I think after that, I was just like, I'm not getting her weed no more. She just makes it so weird. Like, we can't just sit here and smoke. You have to make it, oh, it's not good. Oh, this is too small. Oh, he gave this to me this time. It was just, girl, I've told you a million times I'm not a drug dealer. So I don't want to hear it. And I'm not taking you, we're not going back to him so you can bitch at him when you know that this is okay. You just want to meet him. You know what I mean? You just want to know that connect. I'm telling you, I've seen it before. But anyways, so going to okay, so when it got weird for me is when I was pulling away from her. She would start telling me at work, or Barb said, and she did this weird shit where she had gave me a whole bunch of old clothes, so whenever she would see one of those shirts, she would have to say something, and then it would go back to, hey, so you think you can get some weed today? And I'm just like, bitch, you're weird as fuck. Like, she just got weird on me. Then when it really got weird for me is a couple months before COVID, she had started dating some new guy or something like that, and somehow her dentures broke, and dentures are expensive, and her parents went and bought it for her. Okay, this lady's like 45, 50. Her parents spoiled her. She's spoiled. She has no consequences to her actions. Anyways, or she does, but she's just spoiled and been on drugs for a long time. Anyway, so she broke her teeth, and then that's when I had seen her without her dentures, and then I'm just like, wow, she's fucking older than my mom, or she's as old as my mom, like, because I'm not trying to be rude, but the dentures made her look younger, you know what I'm saying, like, dramatically, but, you know, because the teeth are new, you know what I mean, it made her look younger. I never saw how dentures make somebody look, it took 5 years off of her, it took years off this lady. So anyway, so then I was like, yeah, she's old as fuck. I need to stay away from her. But I already was on that shit. But just even seeing her without her teeth, it's like she's really older than I think she is, you know? And then I go to, I think COVID happened. And I just never speak to her again. She kept making Facebooks. I kept blocking her. I did tell her a couple times, like, hey, please leave me alone. I don't want to be your friend. You're crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, she made, like, I'm serious, 5 to 10, to the point where Facebook started deleting them. Like, I think whenever I first saw her again, I had like 3 or 4 Barb Moores blocked on my shit, right? But now it's like they've just got deleted. Because that's something when Facebook gets tired of you making Facebooks too in your name, all right? So then she goes and it's like years later. I want to say I saw her at the food pantry a couple months before she moved into my apartments. I did, and I spoke to her because I didn't know you were moving to my apartment, so I was just being polite, you know. And I'm like, "What's up, Barb?" But I didn't stop and speak. I just kept fucking going. You know what I mean? And then next thing I know, she gets in to where she gets into my apartments, and I'm like, "Fuck!" And then that's when I see her the first situation, because I'd already told myself, like, I have to tell her to stop because I just don't want her to start being over my house all the time and just taking my kindness for weakness and just running all over me. I'm sorry. She would try to run all over me, and I just don't have the energy for it. So whenever the first time at like 6:30, me and my son are walking the dogs before the bus came, and she's out there just like it happened this morning, and I'm walking the dogs, and she's just watching me, trying to have a reason to interact with me. And I don't care if she has a good reason or she just wants to say, hey, leave me the fuck alone, okay? Anyways, if you know somebody doesn't like you, a smart person or a sane person would stay away from that person. I told her that first time, hey, I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm not in the market for your friendship. Please leave me alone. Please do not talk to my son. Just leave us alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be your friend. I really flat out told her that at 6 o'clock in the morning, you know, and I was like, I'll call the police. And then next thing I know, that's when I was starting to switch over from the post office, and I was working at the post office in town. And then as soon as I get there, like maybe 2 weeks later, she started calling and complaining about me. And it's like, Crystal's in the apartments for 20 minutes. And even the fucking postmaster was like, it's not really even a complaint. I was like, because she's psychotic. She's like, she's mad because I won't be her friend. Like, this is her, how she does shit. Like, it's just fucking disgusting. So that was the first thing. Then after that, my boss just started to hate me. Because she called like the main 1-800 number to where she had to give her name. So she sacrificed giving her name thinking that they weren't going to tell me it was her. And I will subpoena the fucking postmaster for this shit. I'm sorry. Even if she denied it, she still told me she's lying because you fired me and you're mad that I got fired. You're mad that the way I went down, well, our situation went down, but it really started with this person right here who was just hating on me because I don't want to be her friend. Like, what if I was sober and I didn't want to fuck around no more? Barb wouldn't have allowed that. She would have kept on, because even how she was at work. Oh, okay, you're not smoking. Well, can you get me some weed? Where were you getting weed at before I came into the situation? Because you was getting it before. And then even after all these years, did she really think that I was going to start getting her weed again? She's psychotic and she's racist because she thinks that because I'm black, I'm a drug dealer, or I'm owed to her to have to be her drug dealer. I'll shoot you in the face, bitch. Anyways, delete that YouTube. You better, because I'm swearing this lady drives me crazy. Anyways, fucking, so then we go and she fucking, then we fast forward, I get fired from my job, and I just stay away from her. I started complaining to my landlord at that time, but my landlord was also telling her everything that I said and also telling her all my business too as well. So that's where my landlord got fucked up, got life fucked up, because then she violated my HIPAA rights. Okay, so moving into the year, my mom's staying with me. Mentally, I was already just shutting down, honestly, and it gets to where my mom dies February 11th, and it's the day of her funeral, and I'm walking the dogs. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm scraping ice off the door. I made eye contact with her, and I looked away from her, like I wasn't gonna say anything to her. And then she stops because she watches my camera so much. She knew just where to stop, to where that shit would go off. So then I go to where mom's funeral. She stops me and she's like, "Hey, Crystal, I'm really sorry about your loss." And I didn't say anything. And just let me know if you need anything. I need anything? I don't need anything. I don't want to be your friend. Are you psychotic? Like, how many times do I have to tell you? What is wrong with you? Like, seriously, how do you even know that my mom died? Like, I don't need you. I don't want to be your friend. Now, even as I started going off, she didn't walk away. She just started reaching for her phone like a fucking Karen. You know who she was calling? Not the police, her husband, because they were going to beat me up. Isn't that sad? Like, I should have called the police. I should have called the fucking police, but it was at the head of my mom's funeral. So here I am trying to grieve my mom's death and even process that. You know what I'm saying? Like, then we're going to, I went to her funeral. I emailed my landlady Monday morning telling her about it, and by Wednesday I had a note on my door saying that I was the aggressor and that I need to stay away from her apartment because I was harassing her. How was I outside of my apartment harassing her? Scraping ice off my car. And then the landlady, she's like, well, she when I went in there to talk to her, she's like, oh, well, yeah, she said she went to the police too and she got a protective order against you. I'm like, what? How was I outside of my house? How am I not protected outside of my house? Like, even now, every time I go to try to get the help from these people, they just say, well, it's not violent, but she's literally lingering outside of my door to try to make me interact with her. That's so sad. Like, she's trying to provoke me. She has, like, I'm scared for my life because I'm never going to know when it's going to be enough for her, just even seeing me, because I'm supposed to be moving. I want to move. I want to move so bad, so goddamn bad. And I just don't know when this is going to stop for her. Like, I question, do I have tags on my car? Has she been tracking me? Because even in the past few weeks since I've been moving and stuff, she's appeared behind me and in front of me a couple times where it's like, are y'all following me? Like, come on. Like, please leave me the fuck alone. Like, I'm thankful that I haven't moved yet just now, because she would have followed me to my new place, or she would have tried. And it's just, leave me alone. you know. And I'm sorry I didn't put into her. She had asked my stepdad about me, and he told her where I lived. My mom was a witness to that too. It's like she knew my mom was dead. She knew it was over, so her goal was to harass me. And Miss Cheryl put her on this shit to where she's just harassed me, or to where it's like, let's get rid of her, you know. I am very behind on my rent. That's why I'm having to move. But mentally, I'm not here. I don't feel safe. Why am I paying for something that I don't feel safe? Why am I paying for something that is literally handing this bitch all my personal information to where she's literally stalking where she literally has a spot where she sits and waits for me to walk outside my door so she can continue to harass me, so she can provoke me to say something. And it's like, I know you're probably like, well, why don't you just don't say nothing? I'm like, yeah, I can, but this is too much. You don't have to be within 6 feet of me. Leave me the fuck alone. I want her dead. I want her dead. I'm gonna be honest. I want her dead because I was being harassed at the post office and I thought it was that girl, which it could have been her, but I really think it was Barb too. I really think it was. I really, really think it was. And it was like, it's my fault because I was telling whoever was stalking me all my information. Like, oh, that's why I'm leaving. That's why I never work here anymore. So she knew I wasn't gonna work there. That's when it stopped. I'm telling you, I think it was Barb the whole time. I think it was Barb. I think it was a mixture of the two. That's why I wish that God would send me my fucking husband so I don't have to be by myself, because just being by yourself, you know what I mean? Just people think that you're so vulnerable. No, I will fucking shoot you. I will fucking hang you with the rope you thought that you was gonna hang me with. You know, but it's really not worth it. It really ain't. Because whether she thinks that she's just being nice or not, God, but Jesus. God is gonna put an end to this shit for me. I hope he does. Because it's like, it makes me scared because I can't react the way I want to. It makes me scared because, like I said, I don't know when it's gonna be enough for her. Like me, even how I did it this morning, I just turned around. Like she was walking so fast. It's scary. Like, what are you doing? I don't even want to be this close to you, because if you fucking hit me, I'm fucking taking you to the ground, bitch. It's gonna be over. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like, it's scary how fast she be walking towards me. I'm supposed to be comfortable with that. It's 6 something in the morning and you speed walking. I want to fucking, I don't know. She's psychotic. I guess I'm still to the point where I have to catch her, or so they say. I have to catch her. Catch her how? Catch her what? She's not doing anything violent. She's just harassing me. She's literally lurking outside my front door. Literally. Well, that's it for now. Please, if you have any questions, ask. I'm full of them. I've deleted some of the blinks that I had where she was walking past my house and staring at my camera. I wish I didn't. I don't know how I did it, but Blink didn't save it. I'm not taking this. But yeah, thanks.